Hey everyone, welcome back. So I wanted to talk about a picture that I posted on Twitter and Instagram not too long ago. I just haven't really talked about it though. But basically, if you haven't watched the three conference um, videos, I'll leave links in the description here. But this one I want to talk about if they just did two conferences. Um, and of course, we had to decide, well, if it comes down to two, which ones are they going to be? I think it's pretty obvious. If it were to ever come down to two, and ever do like a kind of like a civil. I guess we'll call this one like the civil version of it. This is what I think it could be. So it'd probably be the Big Ten and the ACC. You just divide it, divide it down. Basically, divide the map down to north and south, pretty much. Or looks like the Big Ten's, has a bridge to get to the west. And I'm gonna talk about that right now. When we talk about the list of the teams, I didn't want to put all the teams on the map because I didn't want to cover all the color of the map, how it would look like if all the teams that are in the conferences. So if you look at it from a distance, that's kind of what it would look like. Or I don't know if, this is the concept I'm gonna come up with. So let's go run with the list of teams. We gotta find them. They're over here in notes, I think. So yeah, let's go in and we'll zoom in. We'll zoom into these guys, to this right here. So you have your you have your Big Ten here. This is gonna be 40 teams on each side, by the way. So it's gonna be 80 teams total. They're gonna have You're gonna start with the Big Ten East here, or Big Ten East. You have your list of teams there. I'm gonna try to see if you can see that. So you got Syracuse, Boston College, Rutgers. You can pretty much go down the list. Maryland, Virginia, Virginia Tech, West Virginia, Pittsburgh. There are going to be five divisions, 8 teams in each division. We'll kind of go run the schedule model too. Big Ten Central. You have your list of the Central right there. Notre Dame's in the Big Ten. Your Midwest. As we start to bridge to the West here, you'll see those two bottom teams right there. Nebraska's already there. We can get Iowa State from assuming that the Big 12 starts getting sucked up too, because the Big 10 and SEC are still 16 teams apiece, so they're the two power ones right now. Big 12, I don't know when they're gonna get to 16. I don't know if they can because they just got to 12. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if the new commissioner is aggressive enough or not, but let's see what happens. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. But if it were to come down to two, if we do three for a little bit, and then this is like further down the future, and it's just two, this could be the version right here. So Colorado will be a bridge to go to the West for sure, and you see down here Utah, they get them, and assuming they suck up BYU from the Big 12 later on down the road, that will bridge to the West there. So little by little, I guess they'll bridge to the West. I included, some teams maybe like Air Force, Boise State, UNLV, San Diego State. Should it ever expand that many, but if not, you can still do Big Ten, SEC, trim out the fat. Kind of a video here, but we got this Pacific Division here, which is pretty much almost all the Pac-12, former Pac-12 schools, and then I had Arizona here somewhere. Yeah, they're in the Mountain Division here. So, and then we got the Pacific here, which is basically the whole Pacific coast. And then the SEC, these are the SEC teams here. So here the Big Ten, we had it broken down to 5 divisions, 8 in each one. The division names are the Big Ten East, Big Ten Central, Big Ten Midwest, Big Ten Mountain, and Big Ten Pacific. Here in the SEC, we got the SEC Central here to start with. Those are the list of teams there. And then we have the SEC East. So I put mainly the Carolina schools there, along with the Kentucky schools. SEC South. A little bit of an interesting conference there. That's gonna be a deep one too. Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama. You know, that'll be a pretty good division there. SEC West, kind of a. I know UTSA, New Mexico. Um, I just included New Mexico so it could finish that bridge to for the division of how it look on the map. And I'm not asking to add New Mexico State or UTEP or anything like that. UTSA because San Antonio, it's to be in San Antonio. I mean, if you want to get the San Antonio market, you got to include them in there. And New Mexico, well, it's the Albuquerque market, so apparently there's things being built out there too, like Netflix and other things like there too. So that's another growing market that you can tap into, especially if you're gonna get on streaming services. I would think you would have to go ahead and try to suck them up, at least them. New Mexico State, they could play in the Mountain West and along with UTEP and whoever else. But if you want to get that market, that growing Albuquerque market, I mean, you have to include them too. And then finally the Atlantic. In the Big Ten, we got a Pacific division. Well, here in the SEC, we have an Atlantic division. So you can have your list of teams right there too. Basically, the Florida schools, the 2 Georgia schools, and I put UConn. Yeah, UConn's in there. That's why I call this the Atlantic, because if it was just Florida teams in Georgia, I would have went ahead and called it the South. But we call this one Atlantic because it kind of goes along the coast. Florida is a coastal state. Georgia, well, it's not, even though it's not a coastal state really, it's still right there. I mean, Georgia Tech's in Atlanta, so Atlanta's, it's not, it doesn't say Atlantic, it's 2 different words, but Atlanta, it's Georgia and Florida are still pretty much like connected. And then you go up the coast to UConn, Connecticut. I mean, they're the only ones up there. They're not really SEC territory, but I had to include them for basketball. I mean, Big Ten was already getting Notre Dame, and they're already loaded up. So I put UConn in the SEC for now. Basketball, I know the football's not the greatest, but they do have pretty good basketball, and because of that, they deserve to be in a major conference, I think. So I threw them in there. Football should be better, but then again, I have UNLV and on the other one. So, but we'll see, because that's a Las Vegas market, so that's why I have them over there. But those teams, they do need to get better. They're in good markets. I don't know why they're not better. So let's see here. Let me try to zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see any of the cable networks. I think you've already seen. Let's go zoom closer here. Let's see the TV networks there. So your streaming networks will be coming into play here too pretty soon. We'll go back to the picture too to finish it off, so you can kind of see how everything divides. And I just want to show you the list of the teams real quick, but we can go back to end it on the picture there. But yeah, this is kind of like a real quick emergency. I've been busy with other stuff. I've kind of been, doing other things and studying and things like that. So I wanted to show you this real quick though, what my version would be from it. You could always, this is just a 40 team concept. I mean, I wanted to include some. It looks too blurry now, but anyway, there we go, cleared up. Anyway, I just wanted to show you how it would look, like on the map. And so that's why I include like New Mexico. I include UNLV, probably teams that have no business right now, at least, being like a power school, at least in college football. But UNLV's basketball isn't too bad. UConn, I know their football is not great, but they have good basketball too. New Mexico's basketball is okay too. It's decent here and there, but then football hasn't been that great. Arizona football hasn't been that great either. So, and here we are, talking about the power school, so being in a power conference. So, but anyway, yeah, I mean, teams can always get better. Those are good markets, good cities to be in, and you let me know what you think. I have it all divided up now. If it were just gonna be 2. It's kind of like the old WWE, WCW days, in wrestling, but this is college football. How they divide it, North and South. Although the North has the West here, the South pretty much is just the South. I mean, you got your Southwest, Southeast. There's just Connecticut up there in the island. But UConn, but other than that, it's, I mean, if you're gonna do two, Big Ten has their TV deal, and I include NBC because if Notre Dame's gonna go to the Big Ten, then they should bring NBC with them. NBC needs to show college football games. I mean, I'm tired of ESPN, ABC just saturated, and Fox just saturated with the games all the time, and CBS, NBC don't get anything. They have good. That's a good channel to show games on. NBC, they're, I've gone through this before already, but this is just my version of Big Ten games will be shown on those. SEC games will be shown on these. And if the two teams ever play each other, then they can work out. Probably the visiting team will be on their network. So since the home team they're already going to be in their own stadium. But yeah, little things like that, little details like that, down the road. Right now, it is what it is. But if in the future, they look at this video and this is the way they want to do it, and here you go. It's not complicated. Things can be worked out between now and who knows when they go for this direction. It could be this year. It could be a few years from now, 10 years. I don't know, but and who knows what other streaming platforms will come up in the future too. But right now, this is how you would do it. So thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for your patience. I know this was kind of a not a very detailed video. I would like to have all the teams on here, but I don't want to. I want to show you guys the color of the big, where the Big Ten teams would be, where the SEC teams would be. SEC is pretty much all together, and then you can Colorado and Nebraska. That could be Nebraska's already there. Colorado is that final piece to bridge them. If you have to get Utah too, obviously UNLV, still long way to bridge, but you could bridge them though. UNLV, Utah, BYU, Colorado, and Nebraska's already there. So what's one way to bridge it? If you want to, especially if you're after Washington, Oregon, you already got the LA schools, the two Bay schools you're after. So, and then Boise State, come on, they're there already in the territory. Why not? So, and they know they've shown they can play with the big boys. So I would include them too. Even though Boise is maybe not a good market, they're still a damn good athletic program. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, and thanks again, and until next time, take care, guys.